the one piece of advice you would share with someone looking to start a business in travel industry?
So people start a travel industry thinking that they can get to travel. Nowadays, people don't know how to travel. That is a fact.
In this exciting episode, we bring a visionary entrepreneur, Mr. Namburi Venkataraju, the founder of Journeys with NVR. In this episode, you will discover how passion and purpose can drive a successful business in experiential and heritage tourism, why preserving culture through travel matters now more than ever, the secret behind curating immersive experience that connect travelers with the soul of a destination. But journey to building a unique travel brand rooted in culture wasn't always smooth. In a world filled with cookie cutter travel options, Mr. Raju faced the challenges of redefining how people see travel, shifting it from ticking destination off a list to creating meaningful experiences. Therefore, they focused on combining storytelling, culture preservation, and tailored journey that leaves travelers not just satisfied but transformed. This episode is not just about travel, it's about passion, preservation, and purpose coming together to inspire a new way of exploring the world. If you believe in travel that touches your heart and connects you with history, this episode will show you the magic behind the scenes. The very first episode of Business Couch Show. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you very much for inviting. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity because the first time I'm sitting in a couch show. So I hope we'll have a good discussion or I am able to tell good stories about how I started my journey.
What inspired you to start Journeys with NVR?
So for that, I need to tell a small story how I started. I am from a hardcore tourism background. So since childhood, I've been jumping around a lot of places in India. So in COVID time, I lost my job. So I was sitting at home, and suddenly one day my father came up to me and said, um, "Neighbor's mother-in-law passed away due to some normal death." So they were having a pretty rough time to ship the body from Hyderabad to Agra. So they are the natives of Agra. So he came to me and said, "See if you can help out something." I went to them. I gave them a checklist. So this is how I need everything to prepare the casket and everything. By 12 o'clock, the body got handed over, and I reached airport. I prepared everything. All the paperwork was done, and by 4 o'clock, the body was deboarded from the aeroplane. It was a civilian aircraft, but since I had good contacts in Air Force, I was able to contact them and ask them if they can help in some other way. So they said, "ठीक है, it is the mortal remains are from the services relative, so we can honor that." So by 4 o'clock, everything got settled. They went home by 5 o'clock, and the last rites were performed on the same day. So that's how, after everything is done, I was just sitting back, laying down. I thought, "Okay, I know how to do operations. I know each and every part. You make it a package, you take up mortal remains, relocation, everything." I thought, well, let's start a company. So why you have to wait for jobs, because anyways it is a hard time. You'll not get jobs easily in tourism industry because it was the worst hit in the COVID time. So then I started preparing everyone. I got registered with government websites, MSME. I got my GST registered myself. So that's how I started, and slowly my name came up in the nearby hospitals that this is the guy you can get in touch if you want to relocate your loved ones. So that's how I started. So since 2021, I'm doing this. So I'm pretty happy because at the end of the day, I'm sleeping peacefully at night because what I do is correct and in a very ethical way because I'm brought up like that.
So, what was your initial vision when you started this journey?
So I was in Delhi when I was studying MBA in travel and tourism management. So I came to know some facts that nowadays people don't know how to travel. That is a fact. Because if you take an example, if people are going to Europe, they go on a 14-day trip and they go to one city in 14 days and say and come back and say we have traveled entire Europe.
Correct,
Do you
correct.
really think it is possible? So that is how I tried educating my clients. First, I give them give an option. First option is how much time do you have, how much money you can spend, what is the budget you're having, and what is the terrain you want to visit. So based on that, I give them options so that they have number of options in front of them. Based on their mood, they can select any one of them, because we have 7 different terrains which we operate. One is the mountains, plains, then come to backwaters. We have the longest coastline. Then we have islands. We have Deccan Plateau. We have deserts. So these are the places. If you give a proper education, proper thoughts, what they want to enjoy, they can decide themselves. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do in this particular month or in these particular time span, so that they can actually experience the local culture wherever they go. So that is how I give them the option, so that they are happy, I'm happy. At the end of the day, they have stories to tell to their
Right.
loved ones or the friends and families.
Right.
So that is how.
Right. But आपने कोई challenges face किया है? I mean, when you in the initial days of executing something like this.
When you are in business, you face challenges. One night you cannot be a millionaire, one
Absolutely.
night a business cannot be successful. So it's a very long journey for me. So there are good days, there are bad days, there are worse days. So you learn from whatever worst days you have. So I'll tell you my first tour. It was my cousin's tour. They were 21 ladies. This was my first project as soon as I
Okay.
started my company. It was a tour to um, Amarnath Ji Yatra. So all were ladies, and I told them, I offered them, since you are all ladies and it is a big group, so someone should accompany you for the tour. But they simply said, no, no, we want to go alone. We will talk this, that. We don't want any third person. We don't know. We don't want unwanted people there. So uh, since it was a ladies group, everything has to be curated properly, because especially if they find anything small mistake, they'll start giving it back. So as per my opinion, it was very smooth and simple trip, but unfortunately it was not satisfactory for them. And in our industry, one saying is there, पैसा पैसा फेंको तमाशा देखो. तो आप जितना बजट लूज करोगे उतना the quality will be there. So like that, I try to convince them, because it is very hard to convince people who already made up their mind. Again, I gave them example, like if you are planning a trip to Maldives, the first thought you'll get in mind is that water villa with
Correct.
that sliding down to the sea.
Right.
But for that particular villas cost around 80,000 per night. That is a costly affair. But if you are able to spend that much money, you'll definitely get that. Otherwise, you might have to consider only taking a small, standard size, you can say, hut in an island. So things differ when it comes to the actual reality check. But I try to convince them. I show them these are the rooms, everything, but still they were not convinced. So since then, I have kept on it as a standard procedure that whenever I'm confirming a query, I'll send the photo rooms, the actual one which are shot by me only, or any of my team members will go there, visit those places, so that at the end of the day, my client is getting the confirmed query. He has a picture. Okay, this is what my itinerary, or this is what the places should be like. So that is how I
It's
got
more
to
like a
know.
customized solution.
Exactly, because that actually helps. One is you have the confidence. Okay, whatever you're offering, it is based on the money you are charging them. Should be value for money, not like overcharging and everything. So that is how I face challenges. These are the small challenges. There are logistical challenges. People go there and they wanted to change the itinerary. Again, it is a logistical nightmare for us, because we book the property or a person or a vehicle based on the particular timeline for that particular time slot. Still we have to do on and on small things which client may not be aware of, but at the end of the day he should be happy.
Right.
Customer is the king, that is the saying in business. So that is.
Okay. So how are you different from other travel agencies or your fellow competitors?
So I did my post graduation in travel and tourism management. So
Okay.
I've in and around I've worked with Ministry of Tourism, where they teach us how effective can a tourism sector in a country, because you take the world GDP in tourism, the tourism industry caters to around 34%. So that is a big number. But when it comes to India, we have only selected places in India wherein the most of the foreigners or NRIs come in and roam around. So what I do is I keep the destination knowledge wherever, whatever place they wanted to go. First, I'll research what is there, what not is there, what is good, what not is good. So I personally travel there. Sometimes personally I do it with my within my travel fraternity. I take details, what all is the best options for them. So that is how I work. The second part, why they should come to me, is if you are paying me money for a service, that should be valued, and I will make sure that is valued. And if in case something goes wrong also, my neck is there to catch hold of. I'm pretty sure most of the people, agencies or operators, they just render services and they just हाथ धो के
Yeah.
झाड़ के चले जाएंगे. But I'll make sure that I'm there till you are back, because I'm responsible for your lives. I'll give an example. Last year there was floods in Manali. So generally I don't do.
Yeah, it was quite bad. The
It
floods
was
were
very bad. So I don't do any tours in those days, because the terrain is very unstable. And if you're going on a tour, it should be meaningful and should be with good stories, not with bad experience and everything. So I denied around most of the queries on those days in Manali packages. Suddenly I got a call 21 days back, right after the cloud burst, and 4 days after the cloud burst. And they started called me and said, "Sir, we are stuck here, and this is the contact, and we approached you, and you denied it, and we understand now why you denied it." So it was a difficult situation. People were not in contact, and communication was not good that time. So with my contacts, I contacted the local base camp. The army people used to live. I made them have dinner, rested for one night. Then I asked people. Then they got relocated directly to Shimla. From there, they got a flight and came back to Hyderabad. And they came to my office. As soon as they got back, they said, "Sir, आप जो बोलोगे हम वो करेंगे." Because you have that zeal कि आप जा रहे हैं तो अच्छे मेमोरीज के साथ वापस आना ज़रूरी है. Otherwise, there's no point going on a tour and having bad memories and come back.
Right.
So that is what makes me difference, because I take care of things which are not visible for the client, but at the same time they are comfortable enough to come back to me again and again.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've also heard that you do a lot of cultural tours. So how do you? I mean, what is the importance of heritage tours in today's time?
See, now generation, they don't know what is our past. If you ask a kid, now this generation kid, ki, where does the milk come from? He'll say the milk comes from a departmental store or a milk packet. He doesn't know where the milk is produced, how it is being produced. Same goes with the rice. They only know that comes from a market. So we have a sense of responsibility to know our past and show them what are the facts and figures of the past. We have very beautiful dynasties ruled this particular southern part of India. Cholas, Pallavas, these are the things. So right after my 12th, I was surprised that we are only covering the Mughal and the British history, whereas as far as in the northern part also, Indian history is neglected more often. So I thought, let's start with a partnership of my partner company in Chennai. So we work together on these parts, where we started our journey with Chola dynasty, wherein it was one of the successful dynasties in India, where people still don't know how they managed to survive for around 800 years. That was one of the longest dynasties. But people are not interested in history tours. So we thought we'll do it in a very different way. So we have live shows during the tour. There are local people who come and perform and narrate the story how it happened 1200 years ago. So there we have special permissions from Archaeological Survey of India, state archaeological departments, and professors of history who have written books and they have worked with ASI. So they come along with us, they explain each and everything. So we have two segments here. So one is the adults one, whereas the knowledge and sessions we take are very what you call heavy intensity tours, wherein they take from morning 8 o'clock to evening 4 o'clock. In between we have breaks, but yeah, the kind of knowledge, the evidences, and the stories they tell is very intense. When it comes to kids tour, we take school kids also because they can actually relate everything from their history books, because that will actually gain some confidence in them, and they can actually correlate things what are written in history books and what they are seeing there. So that is how we started with Cholas. Now we have introduced Pallavas, Kakatiyas, and we are coming up with Pearls of Hyderabad very much soon. Maybe in 10-15 days which will be launched. Then we have Hoysala dynasty, we have Vijayanagara dynasty, and we have recently launched Goa, wherein people only know Goa as a party destination, but there is a history behind it also. There is more of Portuguese history and the Kadamba history.
Right.
That is a birthplace of Kadamba.
Right.
So we have introduced that, and the hotels we use in all the heritage tours is they will be related to whatever tours you're going. I'll give a gist. So we have a hotel in uh, Swami Malai, wherein the hotel used to be Agraharam, where the Brahmins used to live.
Right.
So in around 1940s, a Christian person bought it, reconverted it, so demolished all which were not useful. So he that particular area is around, you can say, 15 to 16 acres land. He remodeled each and every house, converted into an individual room. So they have number of categories from the standard to the luxury suite and everything. So while you entering also, you will see actual Tamilian village culture or the atmosphere there.
Okay.
So, and he is a very what do you call, he loves to keep artifacts. So he has, it is a kind of a museum and a resort.
Like a collectible.
Yeah, and he is so crazy about artifacts that he bought a wood stick, a small piece of Titanic wood, which was round. So he bought it in auction and he's displayed it there. So you have some British artifacts there, some artifacts from the Chola dynasty. So he has got permissions. He has got the one of the oldest printing press, which was introduced in 1840s. So he still has that machine in working condition there. So he preserves in such a way. So if you are going on a cultural tour, you cannot stay in a commercial property like 5-star, 4-star. That doesn't make sense. So you should have that atmosphere around you. If you're going to, you can say, 4th century temple, your property should be like that. So our experience should be like that. So the hotel is like that. The food which is provided is so like local that people actually love eating more and more. So they spend a lot of time there. So these are the things we take care of, and we use properties which are
It's
not
like a literally like a whole experience.
exactly.
A
So
360-degree experience. that
otherwise,
you
there is
guys
no
do.
point
Yeah.
going on a cultural. We have heritage walks in city. We have walks in Kolkata, Delhi, Hyderabad. We have walks, but that actually only you are just walking through them. But if you want to live in that 1200 years old culture, it should be there.
Right.
So that is how we curate curated packages. Our packages are online. They work. We have regular group departures from Delhi and Chennai, and our maximum group is for about, you can say, 35 to 40 people max. When it comes to kids, yeah, we work it out a lot, so that taking care of kids is a big task, and we take it from A to Z. Everything is taken care, so that the kid is happy. He should have that experience, and parents should be confident enough that okay, he is going on a tour where he'll learn something. So that is how we work with kids and adults on the
Okay.
heritage part.
Okay. So are there any innovative trend or travel experience that you want to introduce in the near future?
Yeah, I wanted to introduce more and more heritage tours wherein people are actually showing interest now because they need something new. Backpacking is one thing where corporates and youngsters would like to travel. We have the advantage, but that is already going on. We have many companies working on that part. So just to make a difference, I'm working out on heritage part. Let's see how it comes out. But I'm pretty sure people are excited to know more about our history, culture, and the local dialects, the food which is part of it. It is gonna be really great experience for the people.
So, what is the one piece of advice you would share with someone looking to start a business in travel industry?
So people start a travel industry thinking that they can get to travel. That is a myth, because once you start a company, you start working for your company, and once you into services, you might not get time to travel. You will travel, but you might not be able to enjoy. So yeah, I think keeping that in mind, they should start the travel company, and they should have the destination knowledge. They should have very good connects. They should have contact with transporters, hotels, guides, local sightseeing people, the food joints, the market, because most of the people would like to go for market once they are done with their sightseeing and everything. So that is one main aspect people should keep in mind. You should have good contracts or good connects there, so that it helps overall to make that experience a good package
So, wholesome
altogether.
experience,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that is how my advice would be, because people think एक बार company start किया तो घूमने को मिलेगा. So yeah, that doesn't happen.
And that brings us to the end of this inspiring episode. Today, we have seen how travel, when combined with passion and purpose, can become so much more than just a journey. It transforms lives, preserves culture, and connects us to something greater. From uncovering forgotten kingdoms to crafting unique experiences with Journeys with NVR, our incredible guest Namburi Venkatraju have shown us the power of stories, heritage, and meaningful travel. But this isn't where the journey ends. It's your turn to take inspiration from today's conversation and step out, explore, experience, and celebrate the beauty of the world around you. Remember, travel isn't just about destination, it's about the stories you bring back. If you're looking to rediscover the world in a way that touches your soul, reach out to Journeys with NVR to plan your next meaningful adventure. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, share, and follow us for more stories from inspiring leaders and change makers.